What are you gonna do with your life?
What am I? So I have a voice for radio. I have a podcast.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, thank you. I have a podcast right now that I'm pretty invested in.
You've got this air of confidence that is messed up and fantastic at the same time. Cause when I look at you, I think Rush Limbaugh only because I remember when Rush Limbaugh was on TV and he was younger and he was a little bit more stout than he. Neutral space.
That's me.
Why don't you give a shout out to your podcast? Explain the podcast.
Yeah, all right.
Break it down.
It's called Neutral Space. It's on Spotify. It's on anywhere that you get your podcasts. Really, it's about really. I just get my friends together. I get people I know together, and we talk about everything that's going on in their lives, and a little bit of sci-fi as well, a little bit of space. You can find that anywhere.
It's about space.
Yeah.
And like what's a big deal in space?
Well, I like to ask these philosophical questions, like if the Men in Black situation.
Okay.
Like if somebody in sunglasses and a black tie, black suit were to come up to you and say, "Hey, you're gonna spend." Exactly, right? It's this kind of
right.
thing.
Okay, I'm with you.
You're gonna spend so and so amount of time in space. You can take these things with you, and there's no guarantee at all whether or not you're coming back. Would you say yes, and what would you take? That's one of the big questions.
Okay, ask me the question again.
Yeah. So if you're typical, man in black.
Katie. And then how you spell your last name?
Roof, R-O-O-F.
All right. If I just sent your podcast to me so that I can check out some of the episodes and
Cool.
Okay. Now go ahead. Ask
Yeah.
me the question again.
So if your typical black
Okay,
sunglasses, black suit, black tie were to come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm gonna send you to space, completely free. I just need you to document what you're gonna see. You can take 3 things with you. Doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter how big or how small. And you're gonna spend however much time in space. There's no guarantee if you're coming back or not. You're gonna go, and you're gonna go. You might come back. You might not. What are you gonna take with you, and are you gonna go?"
Okay. The first question I would have to ask, just to make sure I'm straight, is it 2 people or is it just one person
It's you.
coming? No. Is it 2 people coming to me with this question?
Oh, it's just the one guy.
Just the one guy?
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing I do is the guy white or is he black? That's what I've got to figure that. Okay.
That's up to you.
No. I need you to know.
You want
I
me
need,
to
come
answer?
On. Yes,
You want
I need
me to
you.
answer?
Hey, come on, put this here. I'm a black guy. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You know what it's like. Okay. I'm 44.
Okay.
So is it a white guy or is it a black guy?
You know what? It's a well put together black man.
All right, see, I'm glad. See, you smart. Because if it's a white guy, I can't do it. I just can't do
Sure.
it. I'm not letting the white guy sit in space. I need to be here so we can. Okay. Now, if it's a well put together black guy.
Yeah.
All right. Very compelling. All right, so a black guy that I would trust. All right, so cool. All right, so now. I would do it.
Okay.
The reason why I would do it is because by the time I was 43 or 42 or 43, I had finished everything that I wanted to do with my life. I finished. I made a list and I finished everything. And I have children. Yeah, I want to see them get grown. But if I died, like some people die, they go, whatever. So I do have to live my life. Yes, I want them, of course. Okay. I want to be able to see my son get a good woman like that, and I would like to see my daughter get a good man like this here. So you know what I'm saying, all right. So okay. So I would probably say yes. I would want 44 now. I would want to do it. If I was gonna do it, I would want 6 years before I go. Meaning, my children will be teenagers by the time I go, and I can prepare them, because if I'm not coming back, all right, now, so the 3 things, if I was going to bring 3 things with me, I need to settle all my affairs. I got too much stored, too much stuff that I need to make sure is done before, because then if I'm gone,
It's done.
right, and I have to do my podcast episodes leading up to the lift. You know what I'm saying? I don't make it a big event. It's gonna be like, whoa, he went from being such a dummy to retiring, and now they put him in space. And they give me a chance to check out this well-to-do black guy, because he might have paint on his face. So
Yeah.
I'm just joking, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. So age 50, after my 50th birthday, I do a party, and then I would do lift up. Now, the 3 things that I want to bring with me. Could one of those things be my fiance? Like, could I take her butt with me?
See, that's one of those things. It's all speculation.
Yes.
It's all you. It's
Whatever I want. Okay.
Anything you want.
Right. I would see if my lady want to go with me, because then that actually covers me on sex, somebody to argue with.
You need that.
Right. Somebody. Right. And if we're in a tube together, we got time over the next 6 years to me get used to her pooping in a bag. Hey baby, got some Ziploc bags. Because I think that's what you got to do. I think you got to poop in a Ziploc bag and throw it into the space.
Yep.
That's messed up. That's horrible. Because one time I was walking, I had to drop off a car in Sparta. You know what 16 is.
Mm-hmm.
You take 16 all the way to Sparta.
Yep.
And was that 15 miles almost?
Yeah.
My dumb butt, okay, it was early in the morning, so I dropped off the vehicle, and then I had a bike. I was just going to ride the bike back, and then the bike broke at the Quick Trip.
Wow.
So I started walking and had a backpack. And so thank God I'm a toilet paper or paper towel. I'm a toilet paper towel, napkin grabber.
Good.
Cause thank God. Cause during that 10-mile walk,
Yeah.
and I said no. And I'm walking. I walked about 7, 8, 9 miles that day. And I finally called my spouse and said, hey, you need to come pick me up. But in the middle, I had to do 2 times. I had to do and I tried to walk off in the bush line or whatever, and just, I don't want no snake to, I was so worried. Anyway, so I did it. Thank God I had the tissue. Because if I didn't have the tissue, what was I going to do?
Yeah.
You know? Anyway. But to do it in a Ziploc bag and throw it out into what you call it. Because what happens to it in space? Does it go into a black hole? Does it stay there? Does it fall through the atmosphere and fall on somebody's head? All right, now, sorry. First thing, I would want to bring my lady. Second thing, I would want to bring a communication system so I can continue my podcast or continue my show, and it broadcasts everything except for me doing in the bag. Like, I don't mind, sex in space. That might be a new porn category.
Nice. Be the first guy to start it. Why not? Number 1.
You see what I'm saying? If I can work it out, you know what I'm saying? Was it? Because I think you do it. Was it air, what is it called? Air. When you have no air, no gravity. When
you're just floating.
Is it called no gravity?
Zero gravity.
Yeah,
Zero
Gs.
Right. Zero. What did you say? 0 Gs.
0 Gs.
0 Gs. So 0 G sex. Hey, baby, come back here. That might be fantastic. So I want to have a communication system, camera system that kind of makes it so that, we can have some fun. Because if this is it, then it might as well be a good it.
Yeah.
Now, the third thing, okay. think the third thing that I would want to bring I would want to bring either something symbolic, like that little flag. You know why I got the little stick on there? Just take a wild guess, okay? I'm a military person, right? Just look at that. What does that symbolize? When you look at it, what does it symbolize?
A flag, right? I mean.
Right, and they had a guide on. You know what I'm saying? It was, like carrying it, whatever. What else does it symbolize? Like based on everything you see, like the colors and all that other stuff.
Well, there's camo on it.
Which,
So the army.
Right, exactly. So there are things that represents me and represents my brand a little bit. During the time that you knew me, I've got a flag of my own, and I would carry my little flag, which had my little website and stuff like that, just so I could. So I would bring something symbolic. I would bring sort of like a bag like that of symbols, symbolic things from America, good things and bad things, right? And am I just gonna be in space or am I going to the moon?
You're in space.
Just gonna be in space.
Yeah.
So what I would want to do is I would want to take some of the good symbols of America. Good symbols like good symbols. I don't know. I would come up with symbols, but there are some things that are symbols that I'm like, like the American flag is a symbol. You know what I'm saying? And I say, yeah. But then there's a bunch of symbols that are that in America, some people spend time justifying wrongdoing. And I'm in my 40s, and so I've lived a life where I didn't have to really, really think about racial stuff, but because I've been a Christian and I've been military, and military is really, really good when it comes to that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least I believe so. The environments that I was in. And because of that, I believed in I was ideological, believing in the goodness of everybody, theoretically. If there are evil people, I don't know them, and so they must not really exist. But then I got some wake-up calls, starting in 2018, that gave me a different view. So in other words, like I said, I was 17, so I'm on this path of what either, patriotism and other stuff like that. But then as things progressed, like I said, in my 40s, I don't see America the way that I used to see it. Not that it's bad, but we evolve. Just like high school, or just like your parents, or whatever. Hey. Or, I don't know if you ever worked at a food restaurant. You have? So then you see, hey, you didn't wash your hands. And it just sort, not that everybody does it, but, the consumer doesn't, I'm just eating. But then when you start getting behind the curtain and start seeing, hey, man, you don't put the pickles fell on the floor, man. So what? We ain't got no more pickles, man. We tell them no, man, we can't. So you wash them out in there. These pickles was on the floor. No problem. Here's your burger. You know what I'm saying? That like sausage being made. They say you don't want to see sausage being made. Now that I've seen how sausage was made in a lot of areas, I'm disgusted by certain things. And I would want to take different symbols from America that I know is designed to make me feel bad or make me feel less than. And what I would do is I would take them symbols with me and I'd have one of them symbols and poop in the Ziploc bag. Because we gotta poop every other day or whatever. I think the food they give you, like in the military, they give you meals ready to eat, MREs.
Yep.
They slow down so that you don't whatever. But then they got food in the chow hall. It speeds up you so you can, you know what I'm saying. So when you have one of these days where we're too hot and whatever, I'm like, oh no, my stomach's gonna be right. So whatever they're gonna feed us in space, whatever. So I'm gonna be like, I said, look, give me some pooping stuff. So I, because I got a lot of symbols, and symbols and pictures of people, you know what I'm saying, different things, and I would just have the whole, and then like every day that I'm there, I would say, all right, in the poop bag for this person. You ever heard of Donkey of the Day? Charlemagne the God, Donkey of the Day. At the end of the year, they do a countdown, 100 best things or whatever. That's what I would do every day. It would be another symbol. What symbol we pulling out today? And it would give me a chance because I'm too young to not care about stuff, and I'm too old to care too much about certain things. My sphere is my children. You know what I'm saying? I done did all the drama that I was ever gonna do. My children are the most important. So if I was gonna go to space, I would make it I would turn it into something, and then hopefully by doing that, I would guarantee that I would not come back, because they would be like, oh, that's what you're gonna do? Push the button, and the whole thing would be so I might not be able to do it. So I had to do it. I had to pre-record it, so that way, never mind. I've said I love that question, man. I'm sorry for the long answer.
No, hey.
But I love that question, man. Why do you think like that?
My mom's a psychologist.
Okay.
So my whole life I've had my mind, played with, toyed with, because that's just how my mom is.
Isn't it disgusting?
I mean, you know what?
No, you're an adult now.
Yeah.
But there had to be a point where you was like, Mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
What age did you start really excited? But what age was there? What season in your life where it was like, Mom?
Well, I grew up primarily with my dad. My mom lived 2 states over. She worked 2 states over. They're still together,
yeah,
but she would work 5 days, 4 nights, and then come back.
Yeah.
So I lived with my dad for 7 or 8 years of my life, and then finally I spent about 5 or 6 years with my mom, and I was like, okay. So I'd say around 16 or 17, I finally started to realize what it was she was doing. I'd be like, okay, I know what you're doing is what's best for me. You're helping me grow. You're helping me, become who I am. But being a psychologist on somebody who's not as experienced as she is, it's
say that again. Being a psychologist.
Yeah, so psychoanalyzing somebody who's not mentally prepared to be psychoanalyzed.
Meaning, like, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
I'm just waking up and I'm going. And
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Give me one example of when she would.
So, when I was young, I'm the second youngest of 5 kids.
Okay.
So I have a younger sister, and I felt like I would get less attention. So when I was 13, I was like, Mom, what's it mean if I want to kill myself? And she said, no, you're not thinking about what it's like to kill yourself. You're thinking about what it's like if the world was there and you weren't. You're thinking about the world growing with you not in it. You're not thinking about suicide. And I was like, what? And then, I guess it clicked somehow, because then I thought, yeah, I don't want to die.
Oh, so she was doing the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely she was. She made it more cushy than she could have, because she deals with veterans with PTSD.
Your mother is a psychologist that deals with veterans?
Did you ever go to the Toma VA ever?
Yeah, of course.
So she was there about 3 years ago. Diane Todd, Dr. Diane Todd is her.
And she's up in North now?
She is down in Nebraska now, but
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
She was there.
She was in Toma VA.
And then she went up north for a little while?
Up north and then back down to Nebraska.
I am meeting with her son.
Yeah, Burke Todd is me. Yep.
Okay. Please do me a favor.
Yep.
We gotta set this up. You, me, and her on the phone.
Sure.
One day, episode of your show and or my show.
Absolutely.
We can ask a space question, but the space in between my ears. Because here's the thing. I won't go into it. Wait a minute. Did you say she's a psychologist or psychiatrist?
Psychologist.
Wrong person.
Okay.
The person I'm thinking of is a psychiatrist.
Okay.
And do you know, still, we got to do it. You know why? Because every psychologist that I meet, I have to let them know that they're worth their weight in gold. Because psychologists, to me, are better than psychiatrists. Because psychiatrists, they don't like to listen.
No. They write down a prescription and they slide it over to you. That's what they do.
How do you know this?
It's just it's my mom, really.
I'm so enamored right now. The psychologist, it's like they're trained to listen.
Absolutely.
And they're trained to understand the mind. And I guess like this room has feng shui. This room has flow, meaning this got to go, this is the door. The mind must have a flow.
Absolutely.
And that is one of the things that I need to help people understand, because I know me and I'm experienced in me. And because I know myself so well, when I'm interacting with somebody, let's say a psychiatrist, it's aggravating because they have this kind of like cookie cutter stereotype. Everybody's supposed to be like this. And it bothers me.
Yeah.
But a psychologist, it's like, not only do they know how to listen, but they seem to know how to rephrase what you've said.
Yes.
Why is that? What is that?
So to break down somebody's thought process
Yeah.
is what psychology is. A psychiatrist, first of all, they'll listen to you and then they'll tell you what the problem is. That's what a psychiatrist does. They say, okay, I heard you and I know the problem. A psychologist will listen to you and then tell you how the problem can be solved. Instead of saying, hey, this is the problem, go and fix it, here's a prescription. They say, hey, I know how to help you solve the problem, and I'm not just going to solve it for you. And that's what a psychologist does, really. They relay what you say back to you in a way that makes more sense to you.
I was wrong about what I said. You're not dumb. He's too much. Meaning that, and I don't know if I'm right about this. I don't know. But you can be with somebody and then master them, like a video game.
Sure.
And then it's like, all right, there's nothing new in this game. So I'm either bored with it or I need a new game. So I need to be with somebody else. But if you're with somebody who, he seems, just the idea of being a 20-year-old that podcasts, even just that means he's growing mentally, where it's so much room in his mind to go different. But you guys probably have the most interesting conversations.
I like to think so, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
What?
Her body language lets me know that she's very, very happy. And like, if I wasn't around, it would be, because I did that. Like, one of them moments, right?
Yeah.
So that's got to be nice. Okay, so Here's my question. What do you want out of life?
I want someone to grow with that'll support me mentally. I want to find something that I want to do. I want to delve into hobbies and be around to help my family and get a stronger connection with them, make some more friends. Just interact with the world around me and be happy.
Would it be weird for you to be an actor?
It's been a long time since I've done anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The last musical or play I was in was probably, oh my goodness, it's been such a long time. I want to think like high school, like I was in a production of Nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah.
And like Annie and Fame and things like that, just like little school things.
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoyed them. I enjoyed helping out, doing makeup, stage work, building props, things like that. But
Because I did with a buddy of mine. He lives in Camp Douglas area. Over in the back room of Denny's, you can get that back room. And you can do a live show. Meaning we did a live broadcast of his show and my show at the same time. It's kind of like a simulcast. So we just had the cameras and we pre-recorded. So we just sat and talked just like we're talking right now.
mm-hmm.
Right? Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I think Denny's is letting people sit in there now.
Yeah,
right?
They are.
So one thing I can do with you that would sort of, I don't want to say boost the podcast, but you can get some of your friends. Do you ever have guests on your show? So you get some of your guests, and then we'll set a date. Let's say sometime in, let's say late January or February or something like that.
Sure.
We'll set the date, and then I don't know if COVID will be open. Maybe we should probably whatever. We'll figure out a time period when we know that it's safe for people to be together.
Yeah.
But even if people gotta wear masks, they gotta wear masks, right? But we go to that back room in Denny's, and all you really do is let people order their food. They order their food, get their food, pay for their food or whatever. But then what we're doing is now we're videotaping and recording with an audience, and that way now you get some of your questions and let the audience answer some, and just kind of have it introduce everybody to your show. I can crack some jokes and for my show, get Mike involved with his show because he's kind of being a regular on mine because he kind of put his show down a little bit. But that way, if we do that again, if we do that a couple of times, that puts your information out there and live. And this separate though is this. So Katie, I'm working on my new album, okay, and I've never done a music video, and one of the things that I want to do, some of the content I'm talking about on my album is this. I'm gonna be talking a little bit about relationships, and I don't know how far you guys relationship. I mean, the way you guys are conducting yourselves, I can assume 5, 10, 20 years around, y'all gonna be around each other, so I can just assume that. You know what I'm saying? And whatever I can do to help make that come to pass, if that's what y'all want, then I want, whatever. But here's what I would love to see. I would love to give you guys a couple of situations to act out, okay? Because I've kept all the emails, all the text messages, all the arguments and stuff like that. And if we come up with a similarly situated scenario, that you don't have to necessarily have a script per se, but the situation, and then whether we script it with the full words so that you have to memorize it, or if it's just raw emotion because you guys have already had this argument before, but then we add a couple of elements in it. What I want to do is, how you said like a psychologist breaks down the thinking? I want to help men and women, but I want to help men and women, especially men though, to not hit their women. And I want to help women not hit below the belt with their words. Because if these two entities, because when she hits below the belt, it sometimes it becomes a reflex. And sometimes they're doing that so that happens, and then the guy is no longer able to be the man, head of the family, because now it's a power shift. You understand what I'm saying? And not saying that power shift isn't supposed to be there. Because if a man needs help like that, he needs help. But some women turn men bad.
Sure.
Some men turn women bad. And what you can't control people, but if they can see in some of my music videos or whatever, I don't want to do music videos where it's just, yeah, I'm doing a song.
Yeah.
How you like the song? We're still in the song right now. Song is almost done. We're about to do the hook again. Yeah. This is money I made from the song. Actually, it's a loan, so I'm going to pay this back. So please like the song. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do something so that when somebody looks at it, okay, I need to look at that again. And then with your skills, it can be slowed down enough so that you see the movements and how him saying or her saying that is so, it would be so helpful, because that is what I'm doing for people right now. Now that I'm done with a lot of stuff that I was going to do, it's like I'm just doing my show and trying to help people with their little scenarios, because it's rewarding to me to capture audio. Like I got this one guy, he said, Matt, you can have my whole life. So we've been recording for months. I have so much content. Okay. I have content of her snapping on him in his face, and then I start saying you need to calm down, and now she's in my face.
Mm-hmm.
And this ain't my girl, this is his girl. And then a police officer walks up, and now she has to freeze. And then I know the body cam is going, so I do something that made me feel good, and that was I lectured her
There you
in
go.
front of the police officer with the body cam, and she had to take it. She hates me to this day. She hates me, but I got the video footage of that.
Gold.
Gold. And if I did not do that, if I didn't have that moment like that, then her picture would be one of the people that I would want to put in the Ziploc bag or whatever, because I had to hold that in. But now I didn't have to hold it in, and it was like I got it, and then I'll be able to take the video footage at the right time. I just look at the video just dropped. I'll be on a space plane, so I'll be in space somewhere and somebody's driving. You know what I mean? Now, last thing, something that you learned about him, something that he learned about you.
I think it's my
Oh
turn.
yeah, it's your turn. Go ahead.
It's my turn. I knew her in high school. She was very conserved in high school. The person that she was with didn't really let her express who she was. But now, knowing who she's been, we've been together for 6 months. And she's so extroverted when we're together, but she's introverted when she's around too many people. And so I learned that in the right situation, she can be very extroverted. which is very heartening to me, especially.
You said heartening?
Heartening.
I love the way you use the term heartening. Oh, be still my heart. Ning.
I mean, he's the biggest supporter that I've ever had. 2020 has been a rough year for everyone, for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I actually broke up with Colin this year after 6 years of dating him, and that was the roughest time of my life. I was homeless for 2 months because I lived with him. I slept on couches. I slept in my car. I slept at his house. I slept with friends, like on their couches and stuff. But he's always been there for me, even though I lost literally all my friends that I had, including
Because
my
of the
best
breakup?
friend. Yeah. But he's always been here for me, and he always says that I'm his biggest supporter, and that's nice to see that when I care for someone, they can care back for me.
Oh boy. So basically, when she was sleeping on your couch, did you do like typical man? Yep. Just a matter of time.
Well, see, here's the thing about that.
Yes.
Is we were flirting as she was broken up with her boyfriend, right? Like the 2 weeks after they were broken up, she come to I remembered that, you know, I hadn't hit her up yet. I lived in Nebraska. I moved back, and I messaged her 2 years after I moved back, and I was like, "Hey, you still remember me?" And she's like, "Yeah." And funny enough, I'm, you know, like not happy in my relationship and stuff like that, and she needed a place to stay, so I was like, "Yeah, come stay with me." And then, you know, we were already flirting during that time, and then there was one day that I told my mom she was staying there, and she's like, "Offer her your bed. Don't make her sleep on your couch." And I was like, "But I want to sleep in my bed." I offered her. I was like, "Just come sleep in the bed with me," you know.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, maybe, you know, another time," because it was fresh. The breakup was so fresh. And then, you know, the next night she was in my bed with me.
And then you were sleeping on the floor when I woke up.
Yes, I don't like being hot, because if I'm hot even a little bit over my comfortable temperature, I sweat buckets. She was sleeping next to me. It was summertime. I got out of my bed and I slept on the floor.
No AC, no fan in the room.
Yep. She
Nothing.
woke up to me on the floor. Yeah. Yeah.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute because I get it.
Yeah.
My lady, she's shorter than me, small, but doggone it, she put that leg on me. I'm like, golly.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
What is this, a dead man's leg?
Yeah.
What is going on? Doggone it, woman, get you. No,
Yeah.
That is hilarious. What's the funniest quirk that she has in him? What's the funniest quirk?
When she is in anywhere really, in a room, if she's just doing something and there's not enough noise, she just goes bop bop bop. She does it to fill the silence. She'll be walking through the hallway, no one's talking to her. Bop bop bop, opens the door. It's just a noise filler, and I've noticed it, and it's adorable.
Done that for years.
Yeah.
No one has the decency to point it out.
Give me one more. Let's
One
do
more
another.
from
Yes.
her?
Oh yeah.
It's funny.
She rolls her eyes, but not in a bad way at all.
How does it look like?
Just show him. Like that. Like
Okay,
that,
okay,
like
okay,
that.
okay.
I'll say something that is, you know, meant to be funny, but at the moment it's dry, and she just rolls her eyes. She just does it. And I'm like, oh, it must not have been that funny.
I just don't want to laugh at it.
Yeah, right.
Usually
She rolls her eyes,
dumb.
and it's cute. I don't take any offense to
Of
it.
course. Okay. What's another one? Give me another
One
quirk.
more?
Another quirk.
One
Another
more?
quirk.
Let me
goodness.
try and think. Oh, the sleeves thing.
Yes.
This.
Yeah.
This right here.
I have to do that.
No, not just this. When she wears my clothes a lot. I give them to her, but she likes to. Her hands are always very cold, always. So she's always tucking her hands into something, like always, whether they're into themselves and into the sleeves like this, always. Her hands are always somewhere.
That's very true. I was about to do this when you were talking.
Yeah. Her hands are always somewhere. Always.
Why are women always cold?
I don't know.
Small. It's hard to retain this body. My goodness.
Okay, go ahead. I know you got a couple, at least one. Load
well,
up about another 2 in the chamber. Load up a couple more.
I like that he's very spontaneous. We can go and do something when it's mentioned, like you want to drive 45 minutes to Wendy's and then stop for the Christmas lights. Yeah, sure.
45 minutes to Wendy's?
Yeah, to the
I'm
cross.
sure it'll happen at some point. But just like, hey, where do you want to
That
go
is a
today?
good
We're
Wendy's.
gonna go
It's
to
better to
Lacrosse.
go to Wendy's sometime than
Absolutely.
yeah, it just
Exactly.
is.
Wendy's
yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
Just
it
like
is.
making small plans and actually following through with all the little things that we want to do and experience. Like today we went and saw an apartment and we had to do our laundry, but we went and got lunch, and then on the way in between all of our little appointments, it's just like, hey, want to stop by Goodwill, buy Nerf guns? And that's what we do now.
I love them.
We're storing up for a big battle.
For a big battle with each other or with someone else?
All of our friends.
Yeah.
Get them together, have a giant Nerf war.
We have some senorita pistols.
Little
some-
tiny, like one shooters.
Oh my goodness.
Yo,
we found
yeah.
this cool like
You
bow
need
today.
to let me come videotape that.
Absolutely.
That is a music video right there.
Absolutely.
That's a music video because you know what? One of the things you know, the fortunate thing about being in the military is that I got a chance to be up here, and it at first is mentally jarring to go to Walmart and then leave Walmart and know for sure that a one horse and buggy is riding to Walmart, and if you follow them, they will tie the horse up at the pole and walk up into Walmart in their little outfits
Yep.
and buy stuff from Walmart, and then get back in a horse and buggy and drive. What am I looking at? And one thing I figured out. This is gonna sound dumb, but that's why I'm glad I'm out here in Toma. When they say there's a 750 horsepower, I think I figured out what it means. That's one horse.
Yes.
The power of one horse. So my vehicle has the power of X amount of horses, apparently.
Yeah.
And when I saw a video from my landlord when I was living in Camp Douglas, I didn't see this in person, but some Amish people were trying to move a shed. And instead of getting a truck and having it lifted up onto the truck and take where they need to go to, these jokers had 7, 8 horses.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I had played a video over and over. I saw. Have you ever seen a llama neutered?
No.
Have you ever seen a neutered llama?
And like a maybe, you know.
Have you ever seen a llama that knew it was gonna get neutered?
No.
No.
Have you ever seen a neutered llama after it was neutered? Have you ever seen a neutered llama's expression on its face after it's been neutered?
Mm-mm.
It's not happy.
I bet.
Guess what a neutered llama gets as a gift once it is neutered?
What's that?
A girlfriend.
It's ironic.
Yes.
That is
That's cool.
hard irony right there. That's what that is.
And I saw this in person. And so what I want, the fries, okay?
They have llamas now?
No, they don't have llamas.
Oh.
Worse.
Just asking.
Worse. You know
They
what?
got pigs?
No, worse.
They did have pigs. What do they have?
Okay, first thing. The Fries, we didn't get to do it. But they go up to some corn fest, Butterfest or something like that. And that is where, this is what Mr. Fry, Paul Fry, okay? This is what he told me when we first met. He said, yeah, Matt, we'll take you up to such and such place. And it's corn fest. And it's a big thing of corn on the cob.
Mm-hmm.
And they put a bunch of butter in there. And he said, we all just pretend like we're pigs and we waddle over to the, and we just, everybody just eats in the, I forgot what he called it, corn fest or something like that. And I said, I'm not going to do that, but I need to videotape this. This is some deep, non-urban scenario that I need to just go in there with the protection of Mr. Fry. He wasn't going to let that happen to me. Hey, I got one coming, right? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't gonna do that to me. I trust my man. I trust him real. So, you still interact with him, right?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah. To ask, you know what you don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
I've been
They used to
one.
go. So you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think it's the same thing.
What is
I
it?
just remember going to someone's house. There was a big party, and there was lots of corn, lots of kids, just people everywhere.
No, but they would just eat corn regular.
Yeah.
No.
It was not
this
the
was,
trough.
No, right. This was a court. Ask him about it because if you can connect, and then I just because the year we were supposed to go, they couldn't do it because something was going on. So I was like, it's okay. Maybe saved by the thing. Now,
Maybe.
Yeah.
this is what I figured out. Now, I'm retired, and I'm dealing with a divorce. I'm dealing with a custody battle. I'm fortunate because I've got a wonderful, supportive fiance. So I've got, things are fantastic, but they suck at the same time. And it's like sneezing with gum in your mouth. It's like, but this gum is still good.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that bad. But, and I decided about a week ago, and I'm not into pets. But I decided I was going to get a pet. I'm going to get a potbelly pig. What do you know about potbelly pigs?
They get big.
Right, but I don't want to get a big one. I want to get a small one.
Pygmy pig.
Oh, a pygmy pig. That's what. How big is a pygmy? It's like one, like.
They don't grow very big.
I compare it to that Downy bottle. That's what I want. Yes, yes. And what it'll do is make it so that, because my fiance, she got cats, and I love my fiance, right? And if we get a place together, I want her cats to be restricted. But she's like, I'm not restricting my cats. Oh, you're going to restrict these cats. You got to go visit them cats. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know what I was going to be able to do in order to deal with that problem. But I figured it out. If I get me a little pig, I'm not living with no pig. Well, I'm not living with no cat.
Yeah.
I love her. Now I'm having a funny battle because cats are just as weird as any other animal.
Absolutely.
But I went over to my friend's house who lives in Toma, and I'm over at their house, and we hanging out, just eating dinner, and they got cats and dogs, and and in walks a little bitty pig. I said, and this, I can't overstate this. This little pig walked into the room
Yeah.
I said, what is that? I wasn't cussing that time. I didn't, what is that? I mean, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't think I had ever seen like a pig in person. You know,
Sure.
so you see them. And a pig in person. No, I did see a pig in person. I think I got video footage. Me and my wifey, we went to we were to St. Martin or something like that, right? St. Croix, St. Martin, or something like that. And there was this bar where they had a pig that drinks beer. So you pay $1 and give the can in the pig and drinks it. They're letting the pig get drunk. I don't understand why they did that, but I paid my $1. Got to see what happens.
You have to.
Okay.
Must.
How many times am I gonna be around
One.
a beer drinking pig?
Yeah.
So I did it. And I kind of got freaked out. But this pig was big.
Oh yeah.
That's the only time I've ever seen a pig in person. Until this little thing. And it stayed in the back of my mind. And then finally I figured it out. Now, okay, do you mind if I get a little bit deep? Just a little bit? You mind if okay.
Please do.
All right. I figured out that I want an emotional support pig. Not because I need emotional support, because I podcast. When you're a podcaster or a writer of songs, my emotions are straight.
Sure.
But people with PTSD, sometimes they have an animal.
Yeah.
And I get it. And I understand it, but I don't like animals. But I thought about it. So let's say I got a pig. I'm getting one. A girl said, you ain't gonna get one. Oh, I'm getting one. Now, what I decided is that I'm gonna have that pig with me. And I'm not gonna name the pig. The pig's name is gonna be whatever I deem it to be that day or that hour. Because when I went into the military, I was 13 or 14, and my father is a cusser. Do you know people that cuss?
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen. Cussing sounds so good. I listen to rap music. It's melodic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man. No other genre does cussing sound really good in. You know what I'm saying? If a country song and they say a cuss word, it's like it kind of
Yeah.
R&B, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? A love song, but rap, whoa.
Yeah.
And I've been, before I was listening to rap with cuss words in it, my father growing up, my grandfather, my grandmother, everybody cuss. And I'm talking about, there's some cussers. And I remember asking my dad, I was 12, 13, or 14, because he had snapped on me. I'm his son, and he's snapping on me, cussing like that. I said, Dad, when can I cuss? And he said, when you're an adult. Now, here's what happens. 18 is when you're an adult, right? Now, I cussed in private, with my little lyrics and go to whatever, but I didn't cuss in front of my dad. And I went to military, and now I'm an adult now, and life is whatever. But then I started going to church, and the first thing they tell you, no cussing, no drinking, no this. I told you, and I called, So now I'm not cussing, not a big deal. So from age 19 all the way to this year, age 43, I turned 44 this year. January 3rd is when I actually let out my first cut in all that time. Okay? Now, in 2018, let me back it up. In 2012, I did taser training. You know what taser training is?
Yep.
You know what taser training is? That's where they shoot you with the taser. And the thing that I saw other people doing taser, and I started thinking to myself, okay, the thing I'm worried about is, what am I going to say when they taser? That's the main thing I want to know. What am I going to say? So they hit me with the taser, and all I did was this. Oh, God. I was like, whew. Because you don't know what you're going to say when the pressure's on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not that I wasn't cussing because I'm trying to do something. I just did, that's just me. Man, how you handle all these people without letting out steam, without smoking, whatever. And, part of it is my faith and part of it is my military bearing. And it's just, and I've learned how to handle tough things or whatever. 2018. Were you around when I did my event at the
When was it?
theater? It was in March of 2018.
I was still
Tell me
pretty
March.
sick around then.
You were sick? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What'd you have? Coronavirus?
No,
You
in
introduced
2018.
everybody else?
Not back then.
Or, wait, March 2018? I was in school.
Yeah.
Oh, and my dad was in the hospital at that point.
Really?
Yeah, he was in and out of the hospital my senior year of high school, and then my grandpa died the same time.
Wow.
Then I went to college, and I was bedridden, and I went to the hospital for a while. I have ulcerative colitis.
What? Oh, that's ulcers?
Mhm.
So that means your body creates ulcers sometimes?
Yep.
Wow. Oh, yeah, you picked a good one, man. Because listen, she's a cutie pie, and she got all these flaws, so she's humbled in the mug, and she's a country girl. So even if she do put nails, she ain't gonna be all overinflated with her. I'm telling you, you need a woman who is flawed and knows she's flawed. I'm sorry, I don't mean it like that. I'm just
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyway, 2018, in July, at the Toma VA, 5 police officers beat me up. And it messed with me because I don't live my life in a way where it warrants that. This is what I do. And so for them to do that to me, and then the whole process that happened after that, it's straight out of you've heard, you grew up in high school, y'all, you know what I'm saying? You done seen all them protests and all, whatever. You hear about it. And for me as a person who went to church all the time and military, where my brain is wired to be such the stereotypical church person, stereotypical army person.
Straight edge.
Period. So for that to happen, and then those police officers, they lied in court. The judge didn't do anything to sort of make sure things were going in the right way. They have what's called qualified immunity, so they can get away with stuff like that. And then that whole saga lasted a while, but it changed my view of a lot of stuff. And I had to in my heart recognize that, okay, it's not all white people. Okay? It's not all cops. Okay, those 5 cops, I forgive them. Why they was beating me up? I got video. Why they was beating me up, I forget. Because I'm trained in that. And there was no, I'm a paralegal in the military. And so one of my bosses, remember the Ray Rice video? Remember Ray Rice?
Yeah.
right? So we came into work after that video came out. Now, they was married. It happened like a year or so before the video came out. The question that I asked when I went to work was, man, I wonder what she said or did to make him punch her like that.
Mm.
And then my boss, she said, Matt, let's have a talk. Yes, ma'am. Matt. When a man hits a woman like that, there's nothing that she does that warrants it or deserves it. Okay? So that question, even the question, what did she do? What did she say? Even though it's legitimate from the standpoint of when you're trying to tell a story. But when you really look at it, it's a way of victim blaming. Now, it's natural for us to, whoa, he hit me. What would you say to make him hit you?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's natural. I think that people, maybe not you guys, but in my generation and before, that's the way our minds are kind of wired to kind of ask those type of questions in that way that sort of victim blames. You know, he hit her, and then it's like, well, what did you do that made him do that? Or what did you say? How come he hit you? Meaning that it should be, the focus should be there. Doesn't matter what you do. Your action was wrong. Doesn't matter what she did. Doesn't matter. It should be assault. You did what you did. Now, if you take that standard to police use of excessive force, police officers got utility belts like Batman. They got all type of stuff. And the way that the laws are written, they are written in a way where if I am attacked by a cop, meaning that I know I'm being attacked, it's two or whatever, any action on me to defend myself or to stop from whatever happening to happen, whether it's injure me or kill me, that is considered resisting arrest. In other words, they put it, but they can do whatever they want. And there's no charges that, you know what I'm saying? You got to have outrage and change laws and argue with people and kneel and you got to, just to get some people held. And that is angering to me because I'm a paralegal. That's what I've been doing it since I was your age, 21 years old. I've been a paralegal. So sit in court, I know what's supposed to be right. I know the standards of evidence, and I know that when you go play by play, and then I know. And then I know me, how nonviolent I am, and it's 5. You're well trained. You're police officer trained. You're in the VA. I'm a patient there. Why are you guys why are Toma police and VA police and state patrol, why are all of y'all whooping my butt? Why are y'all doing this to me? And I'm asking these questions while they beat me up. Now, 3 of them. 1 taser on the left, 1 taser on the right, another taser on my back. 1, 2, 3. 3 tasers at the same time. This is the Toma VA. I'm traumatized. Matt, have you gone overseas and seen that? No. Everything I did was stateside. I'm normal. I'm fine. But that happening, it's a life-changing event. That's my problem. And if America, which over the past 2 years, what I've seen is that Monroe County, there's no, hey Matt, just so you know, those police officers, they'll never do that to you again. That never happened. So as a man, not depressed, because I know how to write. I'm not sad, because like I told you, I accomplished everything. If, by the time that happened, you go to my website, you'll see all the music that I put out. I put out enough music, I put out more music than some people do in their whole, career doing music. Got video footage of so much stuff that I can pass on to my children, pictures. So if I did die, some people die unexpectedly. You can go back and see and relive some of my life through my podcast. You know what I'm saying? I keep a record of my stuff. So that moment really, I'm glad it happened in 2018 and not earlier. But 2018, like I said, it changed me. It changed my purpose. Because I don't want my son, he's 9 now, but when my son was, when he was 7 years old, I was videotaping my son, and he was playing with a white child over at the park. The kid was 6. And he said to this white child, he said, "Hey, I'm black, but you can trust me." I'm like, you're 7, first of all. What are you thinking? Now, of course, I asked him. I got the audio of the whole thing and of me talking to him and all of that. But that did something to me. And that happened before what happened over there, if I remember correctly. And I decided that I need to move forward with my life. I got back I got back to podcasting, and I decided I was going to talk about it, and not be afraid to talk about it. Because that's another thing. When stuff happens like that, you don't want to talk about it. I know I didn't do anything wrong. So when I talk about it, I don't feel like I'm like, I did something. Because like I said before, Ray Rice, when he hit old girl, his lady, it don't matter what she do. You got the power, man. Whatever you do is going to debilitate her. Even if she spit on you. Because if you saw the video, it was wham, and she was out cold, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
5 police officers, they can take one man. They don't even need weapons. But they did use weapons. And it's sad because it was sad. And that's why I'm gonna get me a pig. Because this pig, I chose that I'm not gonna take out on white people what happened there. Because white people didn't do it. They did it. They happened to be white. And everybody, there was people standing around. There were people on both sides. And it was over 20 people all together. They all watched it. And none of them stepped in and said, "Hey, you guys are going a little bit overboard." Which means they watched and they were almost complicit, maybe even enjoying it a little bit, maybe. But that is accusing them. But I'm the person that was getting beat up. Anybody could have stepped in. Any of them.
Yeah.
Anybody could have stepped in and said, "Yo, aren't you guys going a little bit overboard?" The police officers. Somebody's the highest ranking. And none of you guys, as a supervisor, I've been a supervisor for years, as a master sergeant in the military. That's what this is, master sergeant. So there's a lot of things when you break it down whether from the psychologist perspective or as a leader, there's a lot of things that went wrong. And the problem is that the system on its own did not correct itself. Right? You ever play Monopoly and you see that one card that come up? It says bank error. You get something from it. The system should correct itself. But it didn't. So that's why I want to get this pig. Because I learned now. Okay, I'm gonna cuss for a second. I'm not so now. Because Bible teaches us, turn the other cheek, right? So do something bad, or I'm angry because I'm grumpy now. I'm way more grumpy. I'm in my 40s. I'm retired. I'm 40. I don't drive fast.
You deserve it.
I deserve a little bit of grumpiness.
You deserve
Right, my grumpiness, right? Now, I know I'm not supposed to take it out on other people. My grumpiness. So I got that pig there, and all I have to do is say, somebody, and I go to, sir, no, we can't give you a receipt for that. What the fuck you mean you can't give me a goddamn receipt? Fucking receipt. I just want my goddamn receipt. Fucking heifer can't give me a goddamn receipt. All right, thank you, ma'am, for your help. Is your supervisor could help out, maybe? No, you can't get no receipt, and your beard is ugly. Motherfucking goddamn. You fucking goddamn. Well, thank you very much for your time. Now, if I start doing that with my little pig, now listen, Peter bet not ever say nothing to me. They bet not, because all I'm doing, this pig is my emotional support pig.
Yeah.
And are you guys Bible readers at all?
No.
No? Okay.
I've read the Bible.
Okay. Do you remember that there was a man filled with demons?
And pigs jumping off the cliff. Yeah.
And
there
the
you
word,
go.
So I got different angles of the pig, emotional support pig, and all of my evil words, put it right into the pig. And then even better, the cop correlation pig, right? Right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's my pig. I love my pig. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not, whatever. Fucking pig. Then, do you remember Sarah Palin?
Yeah.
This clinched it for me. Can't put lipstick on a pig. I'm putting lipstick on my pig. My emotional support pig, I'm going to get a little cop hat and cuss him out. Put some lipstick on him, cuss him out. Pretend it's my, if I want to cuss out my ex, I'm going to dress it up, put some weave on. This pig is my emotional support pig, and I'm just going to verbally abuse this pig, and everybody's going to be around me like, you can't treat that pig that way. Yes, I can. That's my pig. You don't like it? Me and my pig will be gone. And when I go on stage, because I'm starting to do comedy, I figured out my stuff for comedy now. So I have a comedy title. One of my titles is Country White Women Are Better Than City White Women.
Nice.
And I did it on the 3rd in front of an audience, and I got a little bit laughter, but I didn't record it because I was testing. But I did do it in front of a couple of ladies at Fort McCoy. I told them, because basically, it's like I got this whole routine. I got this whole thing, right? I got this whole thing about this where I'm comparing the two or whatever, and I'm talking about how wonderful country women are. And I kind of gave a little bit of it, but I got this whole thing. I wrote it all down. So I recorded it with them, and I got the audio of them laughing at the different punchlines. So I'm like, okay, this will work. So if I take that and kind of perfect it a little bit more, I do it in front of certain people or whatever. And I had plans. 22. You know what I was supposed to do? 2020. 2020 was supposed to be me and a whole bunch of country white women, me telling them how wonderful they are, and they like, yeah, we wonderful, and all that, whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever they got going on, right? And then I was gonna have all this stuff going, and then I was gonna go visit some city white women, and I was gonna start a big old drama between city white women. Yep. Stupid, but coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? So, how has coronavirus treated you?
I've gone through 1, 2, 3. I'm on my fourth job, fourth W-2 for my taxes, but it's as a server, so I'm on thin ice and I might need another job. I mean, I like it. I moved to La Crosse this year, but I'm moving back to Toma.
Wait a minute, y'all not living together?
I lived in La Crosse. She lived in Toma, and then I moved to Toma, and she moved to La Crosse. She moved to La Crosse for me, and then Corona made me lose my job, so I couldn't pay rent, so I had to move in with a buddy. And then she was living on her own in La Crosse, so we completely flopped.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
We were looking for a place in Sparta, but we're just looking at what we can find right now.
Yeah. We found a really
you guys
nice
gotta
place.
figure out. Oh, okay. Now, are you guys trying to buy a spot or are you just trying to rent?
We're renting right now.
Yeah, man. Well, if this works the way that I want it to work, you know what I did today? Matchmaker.fm. You ever heard of them? Matchmaker.fm. You put your information out there, and you can get booked on other people's shows, and you can get people that ask you if they want to be on your show. I just did a 3-hour episode with a guy who's a politician in Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan, yes. He's a politician in Kyrgyzstan.
Wow.
We did 3 hours, and I got it. So I'm editing it. I just finished it, and I've got it rendering in my house right now. Anyway, I done talked to y'all for hours, and I feel so happy that I talked to y'all, but I feel so bad that I've talked to y'all for so long. So why don't you give me some final words for the recording about your podcast, and then about how much y'all love each other.
Well, I do love her very much. Again, my podcast is called Neutral Space. It's anywhere you get your podcast. You can find it on Google Podcasts. You can find it on Spotify. My main platform is Anchor. They make podcasts.
Anchor. Do you know that Spotify brought Anchor?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Because Anchor FM is free and it puts you in everywhere. I don't want to have to pay for it if I have. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think they're gonna do? Do you think they're gonna?
I don't know, because I'm making money through Anchor as well. They pay me for if I do a little ad for them before the podcast
I saw
starts,
the thing. Yeah.
They pay me like 10 cents per word. So like I made it like 2 minutes long, and then I get paid from them. So it's nice.
You're kidding me.
No.
Do you know? That's why I can't be mad at white people. Because I've been doing this podcasting for years and I ain't got no pennies. They don't pay me nothing. Can you help me figure this out, please?
Yeah.
Cool. Doggone it. Okay, I put your number in my phone and you got my number. Do me a favor. Send me a couple of pictures for my graphic. This is what I do. So I make a graphic because it's audio. So I make a graphic about like 7 or 8 pictures. You and you might have a picture, and y'all might have a couple together or whatever, and then I place them in the thing with my website, just so that and I can give it a title. What should we title this episode? What we just did. What should we title it?
Emotional Support Pig.
There you go.
Emotional Support Pig in Space.
There you go.
Wait.
Space Pig.
I like Space Pig too. Emotional Support Space Pig. We were both homeless this year. Emotional. Wait. Because I got to figure out y'all. Because the space brings your website in, but I got to figure out y'all as a couple. What was the thing that you said? You said, okay, that's not. Emotional support.
Like that. The saying "peace and love."
Yes.
Pork and love.
I'm gonna work it out. That is actually quite good. Now you see, I should have been washing. I'm dumb I am. You see how dumb I could have been doing this doing that at the
It's
same.
alright, we gotta dry ours still.
Pulling out my garage, notice flashing lights coming in a barrage. It's 2 a.m. on my way to Fort McCoy. This happened before I had my new baby boy. Had to slam the brakes and put it into reverse. Guns pointed at me like they wanna disperse. I put my hands up, they installed the cuffs, my mind spinning. Officer, yo, what is the fuss? What is the fuss? They looked through the car and checked my ID. This is my home, my car, and I'm me. Had to break down my itinerary, but I never got a reason. Incendiary. Not engaged in a crime, but I felt at risk. At the time, I never heard the term stop and frisk. No apology or wrongdoing admittance. They pulled away and said, you know you look suspicious. I was taught not to envy or strife and turn the other cheek when they don't treat you right, and give a soft answer rather than continue the fight. But if my last name was Bundy, would I be that polite? And if I had my own badge, would I ever requite? And if the system favored me, would I ever indict? I'm too young not to try and too old to sit by. M3dots.com, I'ma do my part. Why, when Cliven pointed his rifle right at the authorities, he did I get an eye full of tear gas or bullet holes nose to stifle from authorities. I think that they capitulated. I'm not saying that Bundy should have died, but some counties are known for their military-like response. When I pointed out what I thought was the obvious, I missed the monolithic size irony entirely. Sovereign citizens never answereth to an illegitimate government. More than protest, they resist. They protect their interests. FBI, domestic terrorists. Something like a jihadist or whether underground. What happens when you make that list? Government shuts you down unless you're a great American friend and frequent guest. But would I even live that long? I'm too afraid to test. I was taught not to envy or strife and turn the other cheek when they don't treat you right, and give a soft answer rather than continue the fight. But if my last name was Bundy, would I be that polite? And if I had my own badge, would I ever requite? And if the system favored me, would I ever indict? I'm too young not to try and too old to sit by. M3dots.com, I'ma do my part. I'd like to interrogate the notion of meritocracy, American dream hypocrisy, liberal thought philosophy, conservative ideology, Islam bomb autocracy, rich in the aristocracy, loyalty into the blue wall and its pathology, what it means to be a white supremacist and if it's international camaraderie. Is a militia just a gang under a different name? Unisex bathroom just a game under a different frame? Like when Jerry Springer bell it rang, I'm supposed to swing against the enemy that I've been trained? So put up your thing. They're supposed to get the riot gear so they can bring the fear, splash the sparks of a revolution, fire hose my tears. The plot is intricate, demonic, vociferous. Throw the rock, hide your hand in it, the result is never victimless. Do I still believe in Willie Lynch? Doesn't matter, my tax burden is 33%. I was taught not to envy or strife and turn the other cheek when they don't treat you right, and give a soft answer rather than continue the fight. But if my last name was Bundy, would I be that polite? And if I had my own badge, would I ever requite? And if the system favored me, would I ever indict? I'm too young not to try and too old to sit by. M3dots.com, I'ma do my part.